भगवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Hey Krishna, we are continuing our study of Srimad Bhagavatam and we are in chapter 17. Chapter 17, verse number 12. Chapter 17 is titled Punishment and Reward of Kali. So let's see how we got here. We have the context to this chapter. We saw in chapter number 16 that Dharini Devi, or goddess Earth, in the form of a cow, she was expressing her pain of separation from the Lord and her lamentation about the effects of Kali Yuga. So, what happened was Dharma, who was in the form of a bull, had some questions for Dharini. Dharma, whose religion personified in the form of the bull, saw Dharini or Mother Earth as a cow and saw that the cow had lost her bodily luster. So, seeing that she was very sad and she had lost her bodily luster, Dharma began to ask various questions. Dharma asked, are you lamenting because you have a friend in a distant land? Or are you lamenting because the women and children in this age of Kali are not going to be taken care of? Or maybe because the goddess of learning is being handled by sinful people? So, like that, many questions were asked to Mother Cow. And that is when Dharini Devi or the cow expressed her pain of separation from the Lord because the Lord had left this world. And she spoke about her lamentation about the effects of the age of Kali. So she said how she's not able to tolerate the separation from the Lord, and that Kali Yuga had fully taken its had get. I mean, Kali Yuga's influence had spread far and wide. So at that time, after while this conversation was just completed and all that, then Maharaj Parikshit he goes to this area of Kurukshetra. There in Kurukshetra, he sees a Shudra who's dressed like a king beating a cow and a bull with a club, as if this cow and bull had no owner. Hmm? And what was the bull's condition? The bull was as white as a lotus, it was very terrified, it was trembling, and it was standing on one leg. And what is the cow's condition? The cow's condition was that the cow looked calfless, it had tears in its eyes, it looked very weak. And Maharaj Parikshit, he begins to speak to the Shudra who's torturing the bull with a deep voice. Maharaj Parikshit asks, who are you? He says, you are very strong, and how dare you kill the helpless, that too when I am ruling. And Maharaj Parikshit, he asks the cow and the bull. He asks the cow, who are you? He asks the bull, you look like a lotus, but you're deprived of three legs. So are you some sort of a demigod? And so on. And then he consoles the bull, saying, don't lament, don't fear for the Shudra. And I am the king, and the king's prime duty is to subdue the sufferings of the subjects and punish the miscreants. Now, while Parikshit Maharaj is talking to the bull, Parikshit Maharaj, he asks the bull about the person who is torturing the bull. So he says, who has cut off your three legs? And how come in this place such a thing has happened when I am ruling? So he says, whatever pains and of you are suffering, I have to take the person to task who has tortured you like this. So even if such an upstart is a demigod, I will not leave him. He says that, and of course, this is the supreme duty of a king. But we have to continue from text number 12. In text number 12, we see how Parikshit Maharaj talks about the person. He asks, who is the person who has put you to this condition? Who has cut off your three legs? Especially in this particular kingdom where the followers of Lord Krishna are present. Such a thing has never happened in the past. Okay. So from verse number 12, we are going to see what Parikshit Maharaj asks about the person who was torturing the bull. That is the section we are covering now. को अवृश्चत्तव पादां स्त्रीन् सौरभ्येय चतुष्पद मा भुवं स्त्वादृशराष्ट्रे राज्ञां कृष्णानुवर्तिते Bhaktinam. Anyone for the translation?
He, Maharaj Parikshit, repeatedly addressed and questioned the bull, thus, O son of Surabhi, who has cut off your three legs? In the state of the kings who are obedient to the laws of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, there is no one as unhappy as you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Very nice. Thank you. So Maharaj Parikshit repeatedly kept asking the bull, O son of Surabhi, because we know Surabhi is the mother of the cows and the bulls. So he asks, O son of Surabhi, who is the person who has cut your three legs? And he says that generally people in the state are obedient to the laws that is laid down by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Supreme Personality of Godhead was present some time back as well. How is it that you're unhappy? Because generally no one should be unhappy where the Supreme Lord was present and where people are following the rules and regulations laid down by the Supreme Lord. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the kings, they are executive heads of the state and they should know all the rules and regulations. And who is the person who is giving the rules and regulations? The rules and regulations are given in Shastra. But who has given it in Shastra? It is Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So everybody should follow the rules and regulations that is given by the Lord. And in our lives, we must act in a way that we are here to fulfill the mission of human life. So, what is the mission of human life? The mission of human life is not to repeat the cycle of birth and death and get entangled here. Rather, the mission of human life is to go back home, back to Godhead. So, the Srimad Bhagavatam especially speaks about this ultimate goal of one's life. And Prabhupada says, in a state where the codes of Krishna are followed, nobody is unhappy. If someone is following the rules and regulations that is laid down by the Supreme Lord, where is the question of unhappiness? It is not possible. But if the codes are not followed, if the leaders are corrupt, then all the miseries will come. When Krishna was originally present in this world, at that time, all the codes were followed very nicely without any question. Otherwise, Krishna was personally present to punish the miscreants, right? But however, in his absence, these codes are given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is there for us, it is guiding us. If we are able to follow the rules and regulations nicely, then we will live a very happy life. And what is the best rules and regulations one can follow? The best thing that one can do is not forget his ultimate purpose of human life. Focus on the purpose of human life, which is Krishna consciousness, perfecting our lives and going home back to Godhead. So the secret code to remain happy in this world is to actually be Krishna conscious. If we are Krishna conscious and if we are following what pleases the Lord the most, then automatically we will have relief from the sufferings of material life. See, material life means you will have sufferings. There is no question of not having sufferings. But then to find relief from the sufferings, that is possible. How is that possible? That is possible if we train our consciousness to be Krishna conscious. Because whatever perception of happiness or misery or whatever it would be, it is all through our consciousness, right? It is all about training our mind, how we perceive things. If we are taught to perceive things as the will of the Lord, I mean, in a mood of surrender, whatever is happening, it is the will of the Lord. Let me just be surrendered to the Lord and let me take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Then, whatever problem may be there in this material world, we will be able to uh, deal with it. But however, if our consciousness is not tuned properly, then the miseries of this world will affect us very, very severely. So that's what Prabhupada is trying to tell here. Parikshit Maharaj is asking the bull, who cut off your legs? And generally, we all follow the rules that is laid by the Lord, and therefore everyone should be happy. But it looks like there is some problem. Somebody is not following the rule, and therefore you are unhappy. Okay, so let's see what's the next one. He says, Akyahi vrishabhadram va sadunam akrita gasam atma vairupya kartaram prarthanam Kirti Dushanam Dushanam. Anyone for translation?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Translation. O Bull, you are offenseless and thoroughly honest. Therefore, I wish all good to you. Please tell me of the perpetrator of these mutilations, which blacken the reputation of the sons of Pritha.
Hmm. So he tells, "Oh, bull, you're offenseless. Bull is like our father. Bull is an offenseless animal, doesn't do anything. It's a very gentle animal." So he says, "Oh, bull, you're offenseless and thoroughly honest." And this is dharma, right? So he says, "I wish all good for you. Please tell me who the perpetrator is." That means who's the one who is causing all this problem. And because he has caused all this problem, the problem is not just with the bull. It has, in fact, even blackened the reputation of the dynasty of the Pandavas. So he says, which has blackened the reputation of the sons of Pratha. So he's a descendant of the Pandavas, and everybody knows about the rule of the Pandavas. Yudhishthir Maharaj, what a great king he was. Now, the descendants of the Pandavas, in their rule, such a thing is happening, where a bull is being tortured. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking, who's this person? Tell me about the perpetrator. What did he do? Who is he? Give me his identity. So let's see what Prabhupada says. Prabhupada says, the reputation of the reign of Maharaj Ramachandra and that of kings who follow in the footsteps of Ramachandra, like the Pandavas, and all of their descendants, are never to be forgotten because in their kingdom, what happens? Offenseless and honest living beings were never in trouble. So if the king is perfect, if his kingdom has Ramarajya, then innocent people will not be tortured. Okay, so he says that during the time of Lord Ramchandra or during the time of the Pandavas, there was no question of innocent and honest living beings ever being put into trouble. The same thing should be during my rule as well. But then the bull and the cow, they are being tortured at this point in time. And the bull and the cow, they are the most offenseless living beings. In fact, they are so offenseless that even their stool and urine is actually of great benefit. Nobody will say the stool and urine of a human being is of great benefit. It is the most abominable, right? Among all the animals, so called animals, the humans, our waste is the worst. So we can't even think about looking at our waste, right? But the bull and the cow, even their waste is used by humans like us. So it's the most offenseless animal. And Parikshit Maharaj was very scared that the reputation of the Pandavas is now being destroyed because he is the face of the descendants of the Pandavas at this point in time. And he was thinking, the name of my ancestors will be spoiled, if such a thing happens in my kingdom. So in those days, leaders, they were very afraid of innocent animals being tortured and innocent animals suffering. They considered it their responsibility to give protection. So this is a sign of a pious king. But however, we see that today in modern time, all our countries are ruled by irresponsible people and they don't have any idea of the codes of what God has given. And all the innocent animals are being tortured day after day, opening slaughterhouses, lot of meat eating and whatnot. So it just reflects how horrible the leaders are in today's society. So Maharaj Parikshit, what is he doing? He's asking the bull about who's the person who did this. All right. So let's see what else he asks. Jane anagasi agham yunjan sarvatosya cha madbhayam sadhunam bhatram evasya asadu damane krite. Anyone for translation, please?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Whoever causes offenseless living beings to suffer must fear me anywhere and everywhere in the world. By curbing dishonest miscreants, one automatically benefits the offenseless.
Hmm. Whoever causes offenseless living beings to suffer, what happens? They must fear me, Parikshit Maharaj says, because he's the one who's going to chastise the wrongdoers, and he's the king, and he was a very pious king. So his duty is to curb the dishonest miscreants and protect the ones who are offenseless. So he tells the bull, don't worry, don't fear. I am here to chastise the person who's creating the problem. So tell me who this person is. So Prabhupada mentions in the purport that dishonest miscreants, they flourish because of cowardly and impotent executive heads of state. So when the rules of the government is very, very strict, then there is less scope for making mistakes and offenses by the people. All this crime rate will go down significantly if the rules of the state is very strong, very, very strong, and if the punishment is strong. There are some countries in the Middle East where the punishment is so strong that people, they are so scared to make mistakes, commit crimes. uh, Even when you talk about a simple thing, the traffic system in the US, because many of us are in the US, I'm talking about it. And we have all been in India. So the traffic rules and regulations here, they are so stringent. So a small mistake you do, you just speed by a few miles per hour, immediately you're given a ticket. You just do a small mistake, you go in the wrong direction, you're given a ticket, and such heavy fines. So people are scared to break laws. But in certain places, it is okay because the rules and regulations are not so stringent. Heavy fines are not being imposed, or heavy, punishments are not levied on people. So, depending on how strict the head of the state is, based on that, you will see either there is a lot of crime or there is less crime. So, dishonest miscreants, they flourish because of cowardly and impotent executive heads of state. This is what Prabhupada is telling. He says when the executive heads of state are very strong to curb all sorts of dishonest miscreant in any part of the state, certainly they cannot flourish. So it's not that you can give a bribe and get away. When they are very, very strong, when the heads of state is very, very strong, such dishonest miscreants, they cannot survive. And when miscreants are punished in an exemplary manner, automatically all good fortune follows. So if a miscreant has done a heinous act, he must be punished very heavily. And seeing the punishment itself, people should fear to commit such crimes. So, the prime duty of a king or the head of state is to give protection to all people of all kinds, and they should, in fact, chastise those who are creating problems to society. So, like this, if the heads of state or the government is like this, then automatically everything in the kingdom will be very, very peaceful. So, therefore, it is the duty of the king to curb the dishonest miscreants, and that alone can bring peace and harmony to the society. So, Parikshit Maharaj was telling, I am the king, and I will definitely curb these dishonest miscreants, especially when offenseless animals like you are beaten up. He continues to say, अनाघस्व इह भूतेषु य आगस्कृन्निरङ्कुश आहर्तास्मि भुजं साक्षात् अमर्तस्यापि सङ्गदम्. Anyone for translation?
Hare Krishna Mataji, my daughter will say Jai Shri
Yeah.
Translation. An upstart living being who commits offenses by torturing those who are offenseless shall be directly uprooted by me. Even though he be a denizen of heaven with armor and decorations.
Beautiful, thank you. Tell me, what is the meaning of upstart? Any thoughts?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. Does it say, like, is that word in the translation?
Yeah. See.
Oh.
Start living.
I
You
don't.
can take mom's help.
Um,
I'm not
maybe,
sure. Mataji.
maybe like
Yeah.
A
like
powerful or
a powerful person or like
Yes, correct.
Vedas or someone like that.
Yes, a powerful person, sudden power, right? Somebody who's suddenly become powerful. He's an upstart. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. And so he says, an upstart living being who commits offenses by torturing those who are offenseless shall be directly uprooted by me, even though he's a denizen of heaven with armor and decorations. Can you think of some denizens of heaven? This is an easy one.
Devatas.
Well, I don't even know what a denizen is.
Denizen is one who lives in the heaven.
Oh,
Mm.
Who lives in heaven?
um, Devatas and like
I know, Devatas, beautiful. Yes, Devatas are very powerful, right? Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Agni, all of them. They're
yeah.
all very powerful. They are great rulers. They're Ishwaras. They're controllers. And Parikshit, see what Parikshit is telling. Parikshit is telling, even if they're denizens of heaven, if they are torturing offenseless animals or offenseless living entities, I will take them to task. I will punish them. Thank you. Very, very nice. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah. So purport by Prabhupada. Prabhupada says the denizens of heavenly kingdom are called Amara. Amara means what? Deathless. No Mara. No Mar. They don't die. They're deathless. Is it true? Are they Amar? Yes, Saudhamani Mataji.
No, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, sorry, Mataji, go
I,
ahead.
I I heard in Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji's class, Mataji, that denizens, they are Amara in the sense that they get a very long life, and it is
Yes.
one manvantara. So one manvantara
Yes.
is for us is it is almost equivalent, but exactly it is not Amara.
Correct. Very nice. Very nice. Yes. Just like for an ant, I think this is there in the Shastras. Just for like an ant, a human being is Amara, right? It's all perspective. So for an ant, we are forever living. We are those demigods who live forever. An ant's lifespan or a mosquito's lifespan is very tiny as when compared to a human being's lifespan. And compared to us, these demigods, they live forever. Not only that, we say they drink amrit, nectar. But even if they're drinking amrit, it's only going to make them strong to live a long life. They are not going to stay forever. Okay. So as you all know that even their lifespan is limited in the reality, they also don't live forever. And once their lifespan is done, they are also going to die. There is no question of them being eternal. As long as you take a body in this material world, you have to die. Yes, Praladananda Prabhu, you wanted to say something.
Mataji, also, Bhagavan Krishna says, Brahma Bhuna Loka Punaravtari Varati. Everywhere there is death and a birth again. That's what he says in Bhagavad Gita. So they're not exempt from that.
Brahma Bhavana Lokanam Punaravartino Archana. Mama Petyata Kaunteya Punarchanmana Vidyate. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Matajis. So the denizens of heavenly kingdom are called Amara or deathless. Why? Because they possess a very long lifespan, far, far greater than human beings. And we human beings, we just have about 100-year calculation of life. But for us, it appears that these demigods, they have so many thousands of years. And Prabhupada gives this reference from Bhagavad Gita. He says, from the Bhagavad Gita, we can learn that on the Brahmaloka planet, the duration of one day is calculated to be 4,300,000 into 1,000 solar years. And similarly, in other heavenly planets, one day is 6 months of this planet. So we know this. So there is 6 months, Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, like that. So one day is 6 months. When is Uttarayana, it's day, Dakshinayana, it's night for the demigods. So 6 months, and the inhabitants, they get a life of 10 millions of their years. Okay, so they have very, very long lifespan. And therefore, in all higher planets, since the lifespan is so much greater than that of human beings, the denizens are almost considered deathless by imagination. So it is a matter of perspective. And actually, nobody within this material universe is deathless. Everybody has to die. If you have taken a body, we have to die someday. So, Maharaj Parikshit, he is even challenging the denizens of heaven. They might be very strong, they might be very powerful, they might have all the opulence, they might have long lifespan. But if they are going to torture innocent animals, then Parikshit Maharaj is ready to fight even with them. So this shows how the head of state should be very strong, just like Parikshit Maharaj. They should be determined to punish the people who make offenses. So this is how a head should be. If there is wrong, punishment should be given, very strong punishment. If you are right, that is great. The head of state should set an example for the world to follow. So that is what Parikshit Maharaj is telling. Parikshit Maharaj is telling, tell me who this person is, whatever it is, even if he is a denizen of heaven, I am going to punish him. Yes, Tulsi Gopi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Yeah.
I was wondering, do we get karma because we indirectly somehow follow these crooked leaders and we have to like serve them in our whatever jobs, or as the in the government, and we have to vote for who is the less evil sometimes. So like we are serving these crooked leaders because we are born in Kali Yuga, but what is our, like, I guess, rescue? Chanting the holy name is the rescue, or is there some other karma also that comes on the side?
Mm. Yeah, that's a very profound question. So I was just thinking of Rupa Sanatan. They were also under the rule of very strong Mohammedans, and they were doing their duty. They were in their whatever situation, they had a job in the government. They were doing their duty, but after some point in time, they realized this was meaningless, and they decided to go and surrender at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, what we can do practically, yeah, we don't really understand what the karma aspect is, because everybody has a job to do, and in that job, there are hundreds of people who are involved, whom we are pleasing every day. But the best we can do is to observe our consciousness in Krishna consciousness through various methodologies, like, for example, chanting, hearing, reading, serving our Guru Maharaj, serving in the temple, doing services to Vaishnavas. That is the only thing that can protect our consciousness. So, without getting entangled in the job that we are doing, without getting entangled in the way we are serving someone very mundane, and without investing our consciousness to a point where we are getting affected, we can continue to perform our duties according to our varnashram, and at the same time invest our consciousness in Krishna consciousness. That's the only thing we can do. How the karma plays out, we really don't know. It's too complex, Mataji. Yeah. But the best thing we can do is definitely continue to do the job you're doing and please what you have to do, but at the same time, focus our consciousness on something that is higher. Our attachment should be in what Krishna, in pleasing Krishna. The rest of it, we do it as a job and then, you know, just shrug it off. That's all. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. And one more thing I just remembered about the deathless and that topic. Once, many years ago, I heard that this here in our planet, we call it's called Mrityu Lok, and there is Mrit everywhere. Death is very visible. But in the higher planets, they are called Amar also because although they have finite lives, the way they attain death is they just disappear and they fall down to the lower planet, but
Mm,
the death is conspicuous by its absence, the concept
mm.
myth. So there won't be
Yeah.
dead bodies lying around. Like you won't see
Mm-hmm.
old age and death and like dead bodies of
Correct.
people around.
Mm.
So in that sense, it's not very common. Like
Correct.
unless there is some war where the devata demons attacked or something, but it's not very easily. And other higher planets also, they will not die. But when the universe dissolves, they will go to
With the Brahma.
a spiritual world. But here it's called Mrita, Mara, or Mrityu Lok, and the higher planets, even if they have Mrityu, it's called Amar because of this reason also. Like,
Very well. Very nice.
so, thank you, Mandy.
Thank you, Mataji. That was very nicely said. Thank you. Yes, Ajay Prabhu, you want to add about your doing the duty?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranams everyone. So Mataji, with reference to what Tulsi Kopi Mataji was asking about if we are working somewhere and we get the karma, I mean, what I heard is different from what you were telling that
Okay.
yes, we get the karma of wherever and whatever we are working. Every act we do bears a karmic reaction if it is not a direct devotional service to the Lord. Even
Yes.
helping the relatives, even feeding the children, even giving money to the children, if they are not using it the right way, we get the karmic reactions of it.
True, Prabhu.
Even
Yes.
so, yes, and as you said that doing chanting does not take away those karma but
It
helps
won't.
us to go to a place where we get out of the situation where we continue doing such karma. We get a better birth where devotional service is good, and after bearing the results of our karmic reactions we get cleansed, but the karma will not leave.
True, Prabhu. Yes. Yeah, I was telling Mataji, don't worry about how it plays out, but rather focus your consciousness on Krishna consciousness. That way, your
Right.
consciousness is absorbed elsewhere rather than worrying about this. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna, but a quick question. So, like, if you're taking care of older elderly parents and like kids, and we put because it's our duty, because we are put in this relationship by Krishna. Like we don't choose parents, right? We are here placement based on Krishna or based on our past karma. So, helping parents is also like a karmic bond, or
So
Mataji, as I
Mataji,
mentioned, karma. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu. Go ahead.
no, you get first, Mataji.
No, okay, as I mentioned, karma is too complicated. Let's not get into it because it's a never-ending loop, right? So we don't know how it's going to play out. It'll play out in any way. It'll play out ultimately. But let's focus on something better and train our consciousness not to worry about this karma stuff and train your consciousness in Krishna consciousness. It'll make your life simpler because you will never figure out karma. You take 100 births, you will not figure it out. It's not worth thinking, if I do this, will I get karma? Will I get kurma? We don't know. Just leave it. Just continue to do your activities in Krishna consciousness. Make your consciousness fully Krishna conscious. That is our objective. Our objective is not about figuring out whether it is KARMA or KURMA. It doesn't matter. In this world, we are going to suffer, whatever it may be, like Prabhu was mentioning. It doesn't matter. Don't try to figure it out. It's worthless, I'm telling you. We'll only waste time.
Hare
100
Krishna Mataji.
years we will waste time. Yes, Prabhu.
I love this explanation, and that kind of reminds of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan said to Arjun that leave everything to me, don't think of anything, just do your duty.
That's
So
it.
we can
Just
also
focus on
relate it
Krishna.
from there, right? Don't
Yeah.
think of any karma. That's up to the Krishna to decide.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
Can we
Mataji's
think
and
like that?
Prabhuji's, I have a totally different understanding on what you are saying. So
Okay.
yes, do the karma, but what is the right karma is first place to understand.
Oh, yes,
Srila Prabhupada
definitely.
gives the example. After we do the right karma, what Krishna says, then the results Krishna takes care. But if I go and be terrorist and say, oh, Krishna will take care, that doesn't help.
No,
So
that
first
doesn't.
You are
understanding is
right.
what of the karma. When we say helping someone, it's a very generic term. Srila Prabhupada gives an example very clearly, and many places, a lot of acharyas have quoted this. If you find a son of your friend on the road asking money, and you give that person the money, you are helping that person. but he goes and buys drugs. Are you helping? No, you are getting the karma. Krishna will not intervene here. But if you take that person to the father, and then father takes care, your job is the right job, because your duty prescribed by Krishna is to take the son of the friend to the friend. So any place, anything comes, helping parents. My parents are drinkers. I give them money to help them, and they drink wine and beer and eat meat. I'm not helping them. I'm adding to their karma. I'm feeding them prasadam. I'm helping them. So again, any act which takes someone towards Krishna, then Krishna takes care of everything. But if it is not aligned to devotional service, some portion of karmic reaction will come. Chanting and other things, as Mataji was talking about, will take us to the place where we come into a situation so that we are not entangled in doing the karma. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that if you are doing devotional service, you get birth in an aristocrat family or a devotional family. So that's how chanting and other thing helps. But the karmic reaction will be there. Prarabdha will always have to be born.
Of course, yes, Prabhu.
So once we align the consciousness to Krishna consciousness, then everything is what everybody is saying comes true. But that first understanding has to be set up, otherwise things go very differently. Just
So,
wanted to add that clarity.
yes, Prabhu, 100%. We should know what is our duty, quote unquote, karma, but
Correct.
how it's going to work out in our life, the results, the resultant, we don't know. We don't know. It's too complicated.
Sorry for adding the complexities and confusion.
No, no, Prabhu, you explain wonderfully. You need to do your dharma. And for example, we are raising kids and we are giving them prasadam and all the education. But when they grow up, they will make their own choices, right? But we do right thing,
That's
right? Yeah.
that's their karma.
Right, right. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So if I kind of quickly summarize what is discussed is, I think that means that whatever material things we do, uska material karma also will come, and whatever spiritual will do, uska spiritual result will come. But until we are in the material world, until we give up our last shed, our last layer of material coverings, we will have to suffer until we go back home. And Krishna will, if he takes us back to out of this world, until then that is part of our bhakti. But until then we will still bear, like Bhishma Dev also kind of bore his material karma, and he was in the bed of arrows, but then ultimately he went back home, but still he suffered till the last. So is that a okay understanding that?
In a way, yes, Mataji, that is right. So I mean, material and spiritual is decided by the consciousness. With what consciousness one is doing some act. Arjun killed was a spiritual thing. Somebody else killing was not a spiritual thing. So killing is material. Again, just by a act and one part, nothing can be decided. That's why Mataji is saying it's very complex. A
Okay.
king gives punishment is right thing, right? Why killing is bona fide for a king? Circumstances, duties, what you are supposed to do, time, place, a lot of things matter to how do you wield a karma. So that's why the best is focus on what's Krishna instructing and going out of this cycle of thinking what's the karma will never be able to understand. But there are certain basic principles with which we can decide and help to see what is helping us.
Thank you.
100%. Thank you, Prabhu. Param Pavani, you have something to say?
Hey Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. It was so nice discussion and enriching. So what I understood, Mataji, if can you validate the thing that we don't need to try to understand our karma and what is our prarabdha, because it's not possible, because we are here from time immemorial, millions of births. But for now, when Srila Prabhupada and disciples are in our life, by their mercy, we can do our karma, which is devotional service. And then by the mercy of Guru Gauranga, our this entire ocean of birth and death will be a calf hoof print, like a small.
Yes.
And that's all I need to. Now we need to focus on doing our karma only forgetting about karma and rules, everything. Is that okay, Mataji?
100%, 100%.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Yeah. Okay. Text 16. So let's see what our Raja Parikshit Maharaj is telling. Rajño hi paramo dharma swadharma sthanupalanam shashrato anyan yata shastram anapadi utpahan iha. Translation. Anybody?
I read Mataji.
Mhm.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The supreme duty of the ruling king is to give all protection to law-abiding persons and to chastise those who stray from the ordinance of the scriptures in ordinary times when there is no emergency. Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Yes, Mataji.
here, what is Parikshit Maharaj trying to tell? Can you rephrase what he's telling in this translation? He's giving two instances. He's talking about ordinary times and he is also speaking about emergency. What is he trying to tell in this translation? Can you rephrase it and tell us?
Mataji, he's telling about the he's telling about the duty of the king because he's a king. So for in front of him, he's saying sadhu is getting tortured by an asadhu. So
Okay.
he's telling what is the duty. It's giving protection to the law abiding persons who are sadhu and chastising those who are asadhu, that is straying away from the scriptural rules. And when there is no emergency, but in emergency situation in apad dharma, as Prabhupada mentioned in the first line, there can be many there can be need of killing many people, whether they're sadhu or sadhu, as we saw in our Mahabharat Kurukshetra war, that many people who are good by intention, for example Yujutsuba was and Vikarna, they actually had good intention for Draupadi and Pandavas, but they were in the side of Duryodhan,
Yes.
but everyone got killed, even the Pandava side, many Upa
People got killed.
Pandavas all got killed. So that was
Yes.
Apad Dharma.
Correct. So in ordinary, very nice, very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for explaining that. So generally in ordinary times, the king's duty is to give protection to the law-abiding people and to chastise those who are deviating from this. There is a clause here when there is no emergency. So to elaborate on when there is no emergency, Prabhupada talks about apad dharma. Apad dharma is, he says, in the scriptures, there is a mention of apad dharma or occupational duties at the time of extraordinary happenings. Sometimes you might be belonging to a particular varna and ashram, and you might have to do the duty of a different varna and ashram under certain emergency situations. Sometimes, under certain emergency situations, one may have to take the occupation of some other person. Or sometimes, under emergency situations, to preserve one's life, one can do something that is not considered naturally in an ordinary circumstance to be very dharmic. Okay, so such a thing is called as apad dharma. Prabhupada mentions the example of sage Vishwamitra. He says, it is said that sometimes the great sage Vishwamitra, in his situation, he had to live on the flesh of dogs. He had to just eat the flesh of dogs in some extraordinary dangerous position. I've heard this, but I don't want to quote without the reference. So I will leave it there. Prabhupada also mentioned such a situation, an apadharma situation. He said if his disciples have to go and preach in certain lands, taking up whatever food is available, they can do it, something like that. It is there. Somebody can find the reference and show us. But that is again, it's apad dharma. It is not to be done in a natural circumstance. Only under severe cases, under emergency situations, then one can do it. In the cases of emergency, one may be allowed to live on the flesh of animals of all description. But that doesn't mean that you can open slaughterhouses and all of us can eat meat. So, in ordinary circumstances, we don't do it for the sake of satisfying the palate. But if there is a situation like that, anything can be done to preserve one's, instead of dying out of starvation, you'd rather eat something like that. That is called as apadharma. So there are regular scriptural injunctions, and one who follows these regular scriptural injunctions, they are called as swadharmastha. That means you're following your swadharma, you're following your prescribed duties. And under regular circumstances, we do not give up our prescribed duties. But sometimes it can be violated at the time of emergency, forced circumstances. So, the state executive head is to see that such swadharma is not changed at any time. That is the duty of the head of state. He should see to it that sudden changes should not happen in society. He should give full protection to the followers of swadharma. And if there is a violator, he should be punished according to what is given in Shastra. So the duty of the king is to strictly see that everybody follows the occupational duty, and to protect Swadharma, he should take proper steps. The same king, okay, here in this particular translation it is mentioned, the duty of a king is to give protection to law-abiding people and chastise those who deviate from scripture in ordinary times when there is no emergency. So if there is an emergency and there is a terrible situation where a person has deviated for the sake of something, a king might not punish such a person. Okay, so the king would know what is swadharma, what is apadharma. His endeavor should be to protect that swadharma. That is what he should strive for as the leader. But sometimes if someone has taken to apadharma, we should understand it is only because of a certain situation. But again, that is not something that we can stretch. Like Prabhupada gives the example of opening slaughterhouses and satisfying one's palate. So we cannot stretch the same rule. Okay. Tulsi Gopi Mataji, you had an example to share?
Mataji, I was just remembering in one of the chapters of Diaries of a Traveling Preacher, Indradyumna Maharaj's Traveling Monk series. A long time ago, I read that one time Maharaj was preaching in this northern hemisphere, those Scandinavian, very super cold area. And one person said that, I live in this ice area and I live a lot of times in the igloo, and I have to I kill and eat these animals, like whatever, some example he gave. So then Maharaj said that, and he was feeling really bad. So Maharaj said, well, if you don't have vegetarian food around you and if you are catching the animal and killing for your survival,
Yes.
then it's okay. You offer it to Krishna and you pray and thank him and also pray for guidance that that you may be I guess carried to a better situation or something like that, but still and continue rest of the devotional service process and Krishna will protect you, like that he said. So I was just remembering that.
Very well.
As
Thank you,
long as
Mataji.
he's sincere, like, if you go and there are some stores, you have currency. Nowadays, you can see so many stores in those countries which will have also pasta, this, that, right? So, if you get vegetables and this and that to eat, you eat that. But if there is no option and you're sincere, as long as, like, if you're sincere, then you do what you need to do. Be sincere and pray for shelter and mercy.
Very well. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing an example. Very
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, Dharma Uvacha. Now, Parikshit Maharaj was asking the bull, right? What was he asking the bull? Tell me the identity of the person who's doing this torture. And I'm the king. I'm here to protect you. Whatever it may be, I will protect you and I will punish him. This is what he's been telling for the past few verses. Now, 17, verse number 17. Dharma Uvacha. This Dharma says, Etatvaha Pandave Yanam Yuktam Atrabhayam Vachaha Yesham Guna Ganai Krishno Dautyadau Bhagavan Kruta. Anyone for translation?
Hare Krishna Mataji Pranam, I can read.
Hmm.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The personality of religion said, these words just spoken by you befit a person of the Pandava dynasty. Captivated by the devotional qualities of the Pandavas, even Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, performed duties as a messenger. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Such a beautiful verse. So the personality of religion, the bull said, what nice words you have spoken, O king. It is in fact befitting a person who comes in the line of the Pandavas. The Pandavas, they had many devotional qualities. They were very, very chaste to the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord loved them so much that he was ready to even become their messenger. That was the relationship between the Supreme Lord and the Pandavas. And you are coming in that dynasty. So the words you have spoken are so befitting. What else can we expect from such a great personality than to hear such wonderful words from you? So the assurances that Parikshit Maharaj gave and the challenge that he put in front of the perpetrator impressed the bull. And the bull thought, this is true power. This is the power of a king. And in fact, Parikshit Maharaj said that he can even chastise the denizens of heaven if they are going to be violators. So at that time, Parikshit Maharaj, he was not falsely proud, but he was showing his devotional qualities because the devotee of the Lord is very, very powerful. He is as powerful as the Lord, or sometimes even more powerful than the Lord by the Lord's grace. So, this is the nature of a devotee. Sometimes a devotee appears much more powerful than the Lord by the Lord's grace. So, Parikshit Maharaj can easily fulfill such challenges. Even if the denizens of heaven had to come and fight with him, he could have easily, opposed them very nicely simply because he was surrendered to the Lord. And his ancestors were the Pandavas, and these Pandavas, they had so much unalloyed devotion to the Lord, so much so that the Lord was ready to become their charioteer and their messenger. So the bull was very, very impressed with what Parikshit Maharaj had said, and he acknowledged that Parikshit Maharaj was a great devotee of the Lord, and he was as good as his ancestors, like his grandfather Arjun. In fact, when Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb of his mother, and Ashwatthama had sent the arrow at that time, his grandfather Arjun tried to chastise Ashwatthama, and later Krishna himself protected the child in the womb. So Krishna was very dear to the Pandavas, and Krishna became the charioteer of the Pandavas. Not only that, Krishna continued to protect the lineage of the Pandavas, and when Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb, Krishna went and protected him. So Krishna is dear to Parikshit, Parikshit is dear to Krishna. So the bull was acknowledging this fact that you are a great devotee of the Lord. The Lord is very fond of you. The Lord is not only fond of your ancestors, the Lord is also very fond of you. He personally came and gave protection to you. So the personality of religion accepts this fact that the king is a great devotee and he has an exalted position, and the words that he is speaking is purely out of chivalry. It's not that he's exaggerating when he tells he will give protection and he will chastise even the denizens of heaven. So let's see what else the bull has to say. So Dharma continues. Dharma says such beautiful verses. Actually, this 18, 19, 20 is very lovely. So try to cherish these verses, the words of Dharma, because this is something we all can apply in our lives. The previous discussion was about our suffering in this material world, and how all this karma and all that is happening, and we are suffering, we are serving others. So many things are happening in this world. And at times, it is very easy to blame somebody when we are suffering. Okay, this is the uh, most common human psychology. When we have some failures or when we are suffering, the easiest way for us is to blame somebody. Okay, this person is the cause of that, that person is the cause of this, because of him I'm suffering. If he had done this better, I wouldn't be suffering. So it is very normal to do that, but let's see how the bull handled it. And it's so beautiful. We can take lessons from this bull in these 3 verses: how to handle difficult circumstances and how to stay matured. It's very inspiring. When I read these verses, I thought, this is how even I should also be thinking. So let's see what the bull begins to say. 18, 19, 20, very beautiful verses. न वयं क्लेशबीजानि यतस्युः पुरुषर्षभ पुरुषं तं विजानीमो वाक्यभेदविमोहिता. Anyone for translation?
Greatest among human beings, it is very difficult to ascertain the particular miscreant who has caused our sufferings, because we are bewildered by all the different opinions of theoretical philosophers.
Yeah, so there are many theoretical philosophers, and everybody has an opinion why we are suffering. So it is very, very difficult to ascertain the particular miscreant who's causing our suffering. So the person who's causing our suffering, we can't clearly pinpoint. Sometimes we say, okay, if my boss laid me off, I'll say, okay, my boss is the cause of my suffering. But is just my boss the cause of my suffering? We don't know. We can't clearly pinpoint. There are so many theories, there are so many philosophies. Okay, it could be my boss, it could be my boss's boss, or it could be some company's problem, or it could be some other person who did some politics. We don't know, right? So let's see how the bull tackles this. Purport. Prabhupada says, there are many theoretical philosophers in this world, and especially everybody is putting forward their theory about cause and effect, especially about the cause of suffering and its effect on different living beings. Even we are also trying to, uh, somehow navigate our mind as to what is happening in our lives. What is the cause of my suffering? What is the effect of this? What is the effect of that? But generally, 6 great philosophers are there. One is Kanada, the author of the Vaisheshika philosophy. The other is Gautama, the author of Nyaya or logic. Then we have Patanjali, who is the author of Mystic Yoga, Yoga system. Patanjali Yoga Sutras, you must have heard. We have Kapila. He is the author of Sankhya philosophy. Jaimini was the author of Purva Mimamsa or Karma Mimamsa. And Vyasadeva, the author of Vedanta Darshana. These 6 philosophies are called as Shad Darshanas, of which only one is theistic. Only the Uttara Mimamsa or the Vedanta Darshana of Vyasadeva is considered theistic. The rest of it is trying to find the cause of our existence, but they do not discuss God in the center. It is only the Uttara Mimamsa or the Vedanta Darshana that we all study, that is given by Vyasadeva, that is discussing about God as being present, the connection between God, the spirit soul, and this material universe. That is directly discussed only in the Vedanta Darshana. Otherwise, they take God out of the equation and they say life came from life, and all these modern day theories, they are all presented in the previous philosophies. I'll just finish this purport, Mataji. Just give me 2 minutes and then I'll take your question so that we know what Prabhupada is telling in this purport. So now there are so many different philosophies, and everybody is giving some philosophy. It could be because of this, it could be because of that. Now, although the bull or the personality of religion and the cow, who's the personality of earth, knew perfectly well that it was Kali who was the cause of their suffering, still, as devotees of the Lord, they know very well that without the sanction of the Lord, there is no infliction upon them. If something bad has to happen without the Lord's sanction, it cannot happen. They know, yes, they could have easily said one word answer, right? What did Parikshit Maharaj do? Parikshit Maharaj was asking the bull, who is the perpetrator? Who is the one who's causing this problem to you? Answer is simple. We are all reading Bhagavatam. We have read it so many times. We know it is this Kali. But why is the bull not agreeing? Bull is trying to be honest. Okay. How is the bull honest? The bull is telling that, yeah, actually, I may say This person is inflicting pain on me. But who sanctioned it? Nothing can happen without the will of the Lord, right? No one can inflict trouble upon me without the sanction of the Lord. So, according to the Padma Purana, our present trouble is due to the fructifying of seedling sins. But even these seedlings of sins also gradually fade away by our execution of pure devotional service. So, even if the devotees see some mischief mongers, they do not accuse them for the sufferings inflicted. They take it for granted that the mischief monger is made to act by some indirect cause. And what do? Devotees tolerate sufferings, thinking them to be God given in small doses, for otherwise they would be suffering much greater. So what does a devotee do? Tatenu kampam sushamikshamanam bunjane evatma kritam vipakam hridvak vapubir vidadhan namaste jivedne yog mukti padesa dhaipak. So a devotee tolerates suffering. A devotee tolerates suffering and he doesn't blame anybody. He doesn't say this person, that person. See, this blame game is very easy. We can keep blaming the whole world, but that is not going to solve our problem. What will solve? The problem will not solve, but it is a shift of consciousness. How do you get that shift of consciousness? But by first tolerating and secondly understanding Krishna is always my well-wisher. Whatever the situation may be, yes, it is sanctioned by Krishna, but he's very merciful. He's giving it to me in small doses so that I can bear it. He will give us problems to an extent that we can bear. Or we'll get used to it basically. But still, he will give it in small doses because otherwise, the sufferings could have been greater. We are so bad, so hopeless. We have done so many sins in the past that we deserve much more. We deserve much more, but we're getting a small dose because we are devotees. Because Krishna is personally protecting us. He's putting a cloak over us and he's giving that protection. In fact, I have seen devotees suffer much more sometimes than other people. But devotees can handle it with so much better grace than other people. Why? The kind of sufferings that devotees receive is unthinkable sometimes. Even miscreants may not get such problems actually. But somehow they just glide through it. How is it possible? It is possible because of Krishna's personal protection. And how does a devotee say it? A devotee doesn't blame Krishna. A devotee doesn't say, because I'm a worshipper of Krishna. This Krishna, he loves to torture his devotees, all because of him. And they don't just blame him. They don't do that. They rather see that I deserve much more, but Krishna gave a small dose. He's very merciful. That is the consciousness of a devotee. Yudhishthir Maharaj, he says in Brad Bhagavatamrita, he says sometimes when people read our lives, the life of the Pandavas, they think, should I even become a Krishna devotee? Because it appears that devotees, they suffer the most, he says. And then later, Krishna, but at the same time, he acknowledges that you gave us the strength to handle everything and you were personally present for us under all circumstances. Whatever difficulty the Pandavas went through, Krishna was there to protect. Now, in our case, Krishna may not personally come to our house and protect us. I mean, of course, he's there as the deity, no questions asked. Yes, he's there. But you might not see him personally, but still, his presence you can feel in various ways how he's protecting us. So, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, we should understand that there are different speculators who talk about different causes of our suffering, and such speculators themselves are bewildered because they do not understand that the ultimate cause of all causes is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything is happening by the sanction of the Lord, but remember, the Lord is always looking out for his devotees. If his devotees are suffering, he will ensure that they come through the suffering with a lot of grace. They don't collapse like others where they give up and then they have lost their consciousness. It's not like that. Krishna will hold your hand and he'll help you walk through that process. So he'll give it in small doses. We deserve much more, but we're just getting a small dose. He's very merciful. Okay. So what did the bull say now? The bull said, in the mind, the bull knows who is the one who's torturing him. But he says, I'm not clear. I really don't know. There are so many people with so many different theories. They can come up with any theory. But can something happen without the Lord's sanction? He says that. Yes, Rupal Mataji, Can
Hare
you go
Krishna
ahead?
Mataji.
Yes,
Mataji,
yes.
Kali means Kal. Both are same. Kali and Kal are same.
No, Mataji. Kali is this age of Kali, this period. Kala is time.
Kala is time. In chapter 11, Krishna says, I am Kal, I am time. So
Yes.
Kali, we cannot call it a person. We call it energy of God, uh, just for
So
destruction.
everything in the Vedic scriptures have a personality. Okay. So like everything is presided over by a personality. Kali is a period or an age in this particular age we say. But everything is presided over a personality. Like the moon. The moon is presided over moon god. Sun is presided over sun god. But sun is also a planet, right? Or moon is also some object in the sky. Earth is presided by Bhumi Devi. Earth is Earth, but then there's a personality like that. Okay?
So there is a personality, there is some energy behind it. Okay.
Yes, 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 yes,
So
correct.
the Sankhya Yoga by Kapila Dev does it also consider God as like Bhakti path little bit? No.
So there are two Sankhyas. One is by the imposter Sankhya, like Prabhupada says. That Sankhya gave an atheistic philosophy. But the Sankhya that we study in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the third canto is by the Sankhya who's the Supreme Lord himself and who spoke about the Super Soul, the Lord. He had discussion about God. So there are two Sankhyas. But the Shatdarshana Sankhya is a different person. Okay.
Shad Darshan means six or something.
Six philosophies that we saw in the purport.
Oh, okay. So that is a different one, which here it is mentioned is a different one, not the Canto 3 one.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah. Lalita Govinda Priya Mataji. Beautiful name.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Here, whatever Vyasadeva is written, like because we read earlier that in other Puranas, Vyasadeva did not like glorify the Lord directly, right? So here it refers to all the Puranas only, Mataji.
Oh, everything, Mataji, because see, Vedanta has a discussion about God. But yes, directly about I mean, great discussion and direct discussion about the Lord's pastimes, etc., is definitely there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit. But in that, generally, when we say Vedanta, it has God. It has some discussion about God. Okay, it's all the scriptures that Vyasadeva has given. Uttaramimamsa.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, nice question. Thank you, Mataji. केचिद्विकल्पवसना आहुरात्मनमात्मनः दैवं मन्ये अपरे कर्मा स्वभावम् अपरे प्रभुम्. Anyone for translation?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Some of the philosophers who deny all sorts of duality declare that one's own self is responsible for his personal happiness and distress. Others say that superhuman powers are responsible, while yet others say that activity is responsible, and the gross materialists maintain that nature is the ultimate cause.
Very nice. Okay, so there are different philosophers that is mentioned here. Of course, in the previous purport, we saw about the Shat Darshan. But then, besides that, there is something else the bull mentions. The bull mentions about Atmanam, one kind of philosopher, Atmanam, own self. This philosopher, this word to word, if you see Atmanam, these are directly referring to the people who speak Advaitam. Okay, they say everything is one. You are God, I am God, this is God, that is God, everything is Brahman, everything is one. That is one kind of philosophy. You're also God, I am also God. I am God, so I am responsible. That is one philosophy. Okay, that is Advaitavadam, Atmanam. The word Daivam that is used here, you can see word to word, this word. This word Daivam refers to superhuman powers or planets, and such a philosophy is called as Daivagnya. That means they are thinking that everyone goes to astrologer, we think the planets are bad, right? I have 7.5 Shani. So I have this problem. Now, many of us are going through 7.5. So now when you have this 7.5 year Shani, we say Shani Dev, he is responsible for everything. So it is superhuman. It is the Daivam that is responsible. Others, they say karma. Karma is responsible. Whatever suffering I'm having is because of one thing, karma. Karma is the cause of everything, activity, karma mimamsaka. So you see, Purva Mimamsaka of the Veda is actually Karma Mimamsa, another word. Talks about karma. Karma is the cause of everything. You do good karma, you get benefit. Bad karma, bad. Then that is only the cause of your living in this material world. Everything they attribute to karma. So far, what all did people do? Some people said it is own self. Okay, generally they say I am responsible. My soul itself came into existence. Only soul is present. The soul is responsible for everything. That is one kind of philosophy. The second type of philosophy that we saw is Daivam. Daivam is superhuman. You're attributing it to planets, demigods, and so on. Some demigod got upset with me, so it became like this, like that. Third one is karma. Karma is your activities. Just now we were discussing a lot about karma. So positive and negative karma. That is one philosopher who are called as the Mimamsaka. Then you have the Lokayatas who talk about Swabhavam, the nature. Material nature is the cause of everything. Life comes from life. I mean, so what is it? Life came from atoms, material nature. Everything is material nature. These people are called as Swabhavikas or Lokayikas. They talk about the material world. And finally, we see a Pratakyad and Anirdeshayad. This is the last one that we will see, I believe, in the next verse. Okay. That is the 20th verse. We have not yet come there. They will talk about how no one can ascertain the cause of distress by argumentation, imagination, or words. You can never find out the cause of suffering. Those are the Vaishnavas who say you can never find it out. Okay, it's too complex. But we'll come there in a minute. We'll first see about these different philosophers that is mentioned here. So, who are these philosophers? As above, as mentioned, the Jaimini and his followers, they establish karma, fruitive activity is the cause of distress and happiness. Okay, this is there in Jaimini's Purva Mimamsa. And there are some others who talk about powerful gods, and they say that this powerful god is the cause of this. Some others, they say karma is the cause of everything. So, like this, different people have different philosophies. Some people say one's own mind is one friend's or enemy. This is Atmanam. They say mind is everything. Okay. Atheistic, materialistic Shankyites conclude material nature is the cause of everything. This is the atheistic Kapila that we were mentioning. So they say combination of material elements, some atoms they combine together to form some chemical and life came into existence. So like that, there are different philosophers, Gautama, Kanada, they all talk about the atomic combinations giving rise to everything. It is not a modern theory. This life is coming from a bunch of atoms mixing. It is not something modern. It has been there from a very long time by philosophers like Gautama and Kanada. They have been talking about this. And they're also impersonalists like Ashtavakra. They say the impersonal effulgence, Brahman is the cause of all causes. But however, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he said he's the source of the impersonal Brahman, he's the supreme personality of Godhead, and he indeed is the cause of all causes. And this is also confirmed in Brahma Samhita. So, like this, different philosophers, they come up with different philosophies. Who's telling all this? The bull is telling. Some people say karma is everything. Some people say this Brahman is everything. Some people say what else? Daivam, superhuman powers are everything, is the cause of my suffering. Like that, people have different theories. But, he says, verse number 20, अप्रदक्कार्यात् निर्देश्यात् इति केष्वपि निश्चयः अन्त्रानुरूपं राजर्षे विमर्शस्व मनीषया. Anyone for translation?
I can read again, Mataji.
Yes.
There are also some thinkers who believe that no one can ascertain the cause of distress by argumentation, nor know it by imagination, nor express it by words. O sage amongst kings, judge for yourself by thinking over all this with your own intelligence. Hare Krishna.
So he throws it back at Parikshit. You're asking me the cause of my suffering. You decide what is the cause of my suffering. Because there are other thinkers who say that you really cannot pinpoint the cause of my distress or by argumentation or know it by imagination or express it by words. It is very, very difficult. Who are these thinkers? They are the Vaishnavas. The Vaishnavites, the devotees' Lord, believe, as above explained, that nothing can take place without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Director, and it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna has told us he is sitting in everyone's heart as the Paramatma. He is the all-pervading Paramatma. Hriddheshe Arjuna Tishtati. He is sitting in the heart and he is witnessing all activities. So, the argument of the atheist that one cannot be punished for one's misdeeds unless proved before a qualified justice is refuted herein, because we accept the perpetual witness, constant companion of the living being who's the Paramatma. The living being can forget all that he has done in the past and present life, but he must remember in the same tree, in the branch of the same tree, there are two birds. One is he, the other is the Paramatma. What is the Paramatma doing? The Paramatma is the witness and the sanctioner. So he's sitting right there. He has watched all that we have done. So the Paramatma knows in and out of what the soul has gone through. And it is only by his direction, actually, the living being can remember or forget anything that we might have done in the past. All your smriti, jnanam, apohanam cha, right? Everything comes only from the Paramatma. So, therefore, this Paramatma is there in everyone's heart. He knows the past, present, future. Nothing can be hidden from him. And the devotees know this very well. They continue to discharge their duties, but they are not anxious for rewards. What are they doing? They are just focusing on Krishna. That is it. No one can estimate the Lord's interactions through speculations or one's scholarship. Why has he made me into the situation? Why did he put me into the situation? Why did he put some difficulty to me? Why not to others? All this we cannot understand. It is everything is under the control of the Supreme Lord. He is the supreme knower of all the Vedic knowledge, and he is the actual Vedantist. So he is the compiler of the Vedanta. He knows everything. Nobody is independent of him. And he's engaging everybody in various ways. We are all conditioned living entities, and we are only in this material world. We are tortured by material nature. We are not even in a liberated state. So, what can we understand? There is no incongruity or inability in his actions. He's always perfect. We may not be able to understand what is the root cause of my suffering, but Krishna knows. He is the witness of everything, and there cannot be any wrong in what he is doing. He has the perfect calculations of all our past births. He knows why we deserve certain situations. We may not be able to understand why. And he's always perfect. There is no mistake in what he's doing. So the conclusion is that our sufferings, here, it is therefore said that the sufferings of the representative of religion, this bull, and the representative of earth, Dharini Devi, as present in front of Parikshit Maharaj, are planned to prove that Maharaj Parikshit was the ideal executive head because he knew how to give protection to cows and brahmanas, the two pillars of spiritual advancement. Yes, they were suffering, okay, the bull and the earth, I mean, the bull as the dharma and mother cow as earth, and they were suffering. But the whole drama was carried out to prove the greatness of Parikshit Maharaj. How Parikshit Maharaj was so concerned, how Parikshit Maharaj was always bent upon giving protection to cows and the Brahmanas, which are the two pillars of spiritual advancement. So everybody, they told Parikshit Maharaj, everybody is under the control of the Lord and he's perfect in his action. When he desires to do something, it is executed through somebody. So just don't go around playing the blame game. Oh, it is because of him. It's because of me. Because of karma. Forget everything. It is under the supervision of the Lord. If it is sanctioned, it is His will. So let me follow the verse Tatenu Kampam. Let me tolerate and glide through the situation, taking shelter at His lotus feet. That is all we can do. So he's quite correct. Krishna is always correct in his actions. If he desires something, that something should happen to someone, irrespective of the consideration of the particular case, it is correct. Parikshit Maharaj was thus put to a test of his greatness. Now let's see how he solves with a sagacious mind. That is the next verse, but we cannot finish that today. Maybe, I don't know, in verse number 21, Parikshit would begin to reply, okay? But his replies from verse number 22 onwards. So we'll see how Parikshit resolved. What did the bull do? The bull said, I don't know the cause. He says, there are different philosophers who think the causes. Some people think this is the cause, that is the cause. Some people are very vague, like the Vaishnavas. They think, okay, everything is Lord's sanction. Whatever it may be, what did the bull say? The bull say, you decide with your own intelligence what is the cause. Parikshit Maharaj is going to talk from verse 22, but we will do verse 21 and stop. Okay, this is the verse that is going to transition to the next section. So, Suta Uvacha. एवं धर्मे प्रवदति स सम्राद्विजसत्तमा समाहितेन मनसा विकेदः पर्यश्चता तम्. Translation. Suta Goswami said, O best among Brahmanas, the Emperor Parikshit, thus hearing the personality of religion speak, was fully satisfied. He was very satisfied with the bull's answers, and without a mistake or regret, he gave his reply. What did he reply? We'll see next week. But Prabhupada's purpose says, the statement of the bull, the personality of religion, was full of philosophy and knowledge, and the king was very impressed. He could understand this suffering is not ordinary. See, that is very important. When great Vaishnavas, they apparently suffer. Think of so many great Vaishnavas like Madhavendra Puri and others apparently suffering, right? It was not ordinary. Their suffering is not ordinary. Through that suffering, they're teaching something very big to this world. So the statement of the bull and the personality of religion was full of philosophy and knowledge, and the king was very satisfied because he understood that the suffering of the bull was not any ordinary suffering.
Mataji, or Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, you should recollect Mataji.
Yes. Yes, that is
Present times, nobody can undergo this kind of.
Nobody can undergo what he's undergoing. Fantastic, yes. Unless one is perfectly conversant with the law of the Supreme Lord, one cannot speak such things touching the philosophical truths. Who is he talking about? The bull. So the bull, he was conversant with everything. He was conversant with the law of the Supreme Lord. So he was able to uncover these philosophical truths. The emperor, being also on an equal level of sagacity, replied to the point without doubts or mistakes. How does he reply? That we will see in the next session. Okay, so we'll end here. And if there are any other discussion or thoughts, please go ahead before we end. Okay, so thank you all for your participation. And many of your papers must have been corrected, at least for the previous closed book and all has been corrected as far as I know. I was seeing that the grades are coming up, but it was corrected like last month itself, if I'm not wrong. Many of you must have gotten it on your dashboards last month. December itself, everything was done. Maybe some, I don't know if all the shlokas are done, but I know one set of shlokas was also done. By end of December, they had committed to complete a lot of corrections and it was done. And soon, why I'm talking about all this is because your next module will also come up soon. And did Kirtana Mataji give the question bank? Sorry, I'm not keeping touch properly.
The closed book exam, if we submit now, it will get evaluated or no?
It got evaluated, no? Last time?
I did not send the closed book yet.
You didn't see it. Oh, is it? Okay.
No, I did not
I'll
send.
know.
I did not
Huh?
send yet. I can update
You
it
didn't
or
send. Okay. Then, yeah, when once you send, it'll be, we can correct.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Vrinda Vaishnavi?
Mataji, yes, Mataji posted the closed book questions.
She's posted. Okay, very nice. Okay.
Whatever was
Then-
given in the handbook, she said she has posted there.
Oh, okay, very nice.
And
Okay.
he said she has posted 7 more shlokas for memorization.
For memorization. Okay, so everything is ready for you all then. Cool. Because we are slowly ending this canto. So that's why I wanted to know. Okay, we have 3 more chapters anyway, 17, 18, 19, and then we are good. Okay. We'll end here. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji. Pranam.